been working on a piece that sums up a lot of my feelings about this weekend. So here it is. I keep thinking about how people say the air feels different now, heavier, sharper, like something invisible has started pressing on their lungs. They talk about it like discovery, like a sudden shift, like no one could have known that it would get this bad. But the air didn't change. It accumulated. I grew up knowing what it meant to breathe carefully, knowing how certain places ask more of your body than others, how harm can linger in the background, not as interruption, but as atmosphere, where violence doesn't arrive as shock, but as repetition, where loss is explained as inevitable or unfortunate, or just the way that things go. The air was tested there first, allowed to circulate, measured in small doses. As long as it stayed contained, it wasn't treated as a problem. It was treated as proof of control. In mines, they used to send birds ahead of the men. A canary, small and sensitive, its body tuned to the shifts in the air that humans could tolerate longer. The bird wasn't a symbol, it was an instrument. And if it faltered, it meant that the environment had already crossed a line, even if everyone else could still breathe. The bird was never meant to survive. It was meant to register. Some lives have been placed closer to the danger in this country, closer to the machinery, closer to the policies that turn into pressure and then into force. Their suffering, our suffering, functioned as early warning, and our pain was treated as acceptable loss. Our deaths became lessons no one rushed to learn. So when the air finally spread, when the violence stopped staying where it was expected to stay, when people began to panic and ask how this could happen, I don't feel surprised. I feel a deep, familiar sadness. Not because people are afraid of everything now. Fear makes sense, but because it took this. Because warning wasn't enough until exposure widened, until harm crossed an invisible boundary, until the canary was no longer the only one struggling to breathe. But what I'm sitting with now is that I haven't hardened. I still cry over suffering I know how to trace. I still feel the unnecessary violence of it all, even when I understand exactly how it was built. I haven't learned to call this inevitable just because it was practiced on the same people first. The canary didn't sing to be believed. It sang because that's what happens when you live closest to the truth of the air. And even now, even here, I can still hear it.